welcome back to the Valley, the Old Farm. And I recorded the gameplay footage for this video while I was off, but didn't record any commentary because I just kind of chilled out playing on the PS4 for a change. It was kind of cool. So we have the alfalfa to cut. It's harvest ready. It will go one more growth state, but I didn't think it would actually progress in December to that last growth state. Easy for me to say. So we're going to get it mowed and tedded and baled into alfalfa hay for the sheep. So this map has custom animal feeding even on console, and the alfalfa or alfalfa hay is the only food that gives the sheep 100% of their food requirement. So that's why we're doing this. We've also got our grass fields that are ready to be cut, so we do need to cut those as well. I'm tempted to try something different again, and I might lease a forage wagon and use one of the silage clamps that we've got to do that. I need to check how much hay we've got to make sure we've got enough to keep the cows fed through winter, but if we have, I might try that as something different to do, and then we can always feed that through the BGA. So yeah, I was kind of struggling with the fact that I don't think on console you can raise and lower both implements at once, which is kind of annoying with a setup like this. So in the end, I just kind of gave up. Once I'd done headlands and didn't need to worry about mowing anything I didn't want to mow, I just kind of gave up and kept everything down and worked my way through the field. So yeah, I said this is not how I've been doing these PC Gamer Tries Console videos, but it's just kind of how this one worked out. Mrs. D is still unwell, so I'm now back at work and just sitting downstairs this evening recording and trying to finish this video off, still surrounded by the dogs. So if you hear random noise in the background, it's not me licking myself. Honest. So lots of people seem to be talking about FS25, and to be honest, I've not watched any of the videos. They're not my kind of thing. So Pharmacop's done one, and Matana's done one. VF just released one today, and it's something Kartek and I have been chatting about, but really in the background whenever we kind of just are talking, and I don't think we've spoken about it on any of the Deadly Squat videos about the theories we both have about when we may or may not hear about FS25, and I'm not actually going to talk about that. What I want to talk about is platforms, and I don't think that FS25 is going to come to things like the PS4. This is just my opinion. You may or may not disagree. I know it's going to upset a lot of people if they can't play it on their older generation consoles, but personally, I was surprised that Giants released FS22 on old gen consoles, and it's probably purely down to percentage of the market. But the game really doesn't run well on an old console. Even compared to a very low spec PC, the speed that the UI reacts is horrendous. And loading the map up and trying to change overlays, you can almost get up and go and get a cup of coffee sometimes. Whereas I was messing about this afternoon on the really cheap PC that I've brought. I was playing on a 4X map and it was changing instantly. So yeah, I think that the older gen consoles have probably had their day, and at some point Giants have got to cut the cord on that, because it does hold back what they can do, because everything Giants do has to work on all platforms. And so whereas modders can ignore the older platforms if they choose to, there are some maps that don't work on old platforms. Now that's not always intentional, but it is a side effect of the limitation of the old consoles. So, Saxthorpe is an example of that. That was 100% not intentional from Farms in Briscoe, that it would not work, but it just wouldn't. And there's been a few maps like that, and I think that's just a sign of things to come for FS25. Again, this is just my opinion on this. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, good for you guys that still have these old consoles, but I really think, they're getting to the point where they've had their day, and that's probably going to allow some interesting things to happen without having to deal with that limitation. I doubt, personally, that it'll open up things like script mods, because those limitations are not down to a particular type of console. They are down to the console manufacturers. So, yeah. Don't expect to suddenly get Courseplay in FS25 on console, for example. You're still going to be limited there. And the same with all the branding. The branding is not Giants. It's not necessarily, it kind of is a limitation of, it's with Sony and Microsoft, and with official stuff in game for PC, there has to be licensing in place. It's why some stuff ends up as Lizard. And I know some people say, just make everything Lizard, and that doesn't work. It doesn't work. But, so you're not suddenly going to see your favorite random brand of truck or pickup or whatever, or, vintage tractor in the game. But I'm hoping that we'd see a progression from FS22 into FS25 rather than a regression. I feel there was a lot of arcadification of things in FS22, and I'm hoping that doesn't continue as a trend. We'll see. So, alfalfa is mowed. I have a tedder, so we can get the alfalfa tedded. I don't have a windrower, so we are going to need to lease one of those, and we've got the baler, so we're pretty good. We are pretty good. And as I said, we've got a couple of grass fields to mow. So it actually wasn't what I was planning to do, and it feeds into what I was just saying. Actually, I was intending to do a sugar beet harvesting contract, because when I loaded the game up and skipped ahead to November, none of these fields showed as harvest ready, because the map took so long to update. The map, in fact, didn't update in the time I had the game loaded, so I decided I would do a beet harvesting contract to give that a try. And I started the game up a few days ago to start tackling that job, because I thought it's going to take a while. I'll kind of just play and get some footage and that kind of thing. And the map had updated, and I could do this now. And I had it open for quite a while. So yeah, I'm not running a lot of mods. I've not got a lot of kit. It's just that the platform really struggles. So yeah. And as I've spoken about it a few times, I'm actually working on preparing the video now. I spent about £130 on a really cheap PC to test to see what the difference is. And don't think it's worse than a PS4. Don't think it's worse than a PS4. Watching this, actually no, maybe the draw distance is maybe slightly lower, but I don't think it is. And so far, I've been running a lot of the mods that people would want to run. So, and the map updates normally. So, yeah. And I'm not saying that everyone who's got a PS4 should sell it and go buy a cheap PC, because I'm not sure a cheap PC is the answer, if honest. And probably, if you're thinking about FS25, a cheap PC probably isn't the answer, because the minimum specs for the game will go up. But you know, we'll see. We will see. Yeah, so it's one of the it's one of the highest amounts of prep I've had to do for something like this. I think the only thing that's come close is when I was testing Maze Plus and preparing all the content for that. That took quite a lot of hours of play testing, which is, you know, I've said before, play testing is not playing. So yeah, it took quite a lot of hours of that and prepping and, you know, planning videos and stuff. And so this has been similar. I'm enjoying it. So, you know, not complaining, just explaining, as the immortal Mr. CDP says. So yeah, it's not taking too long to get this tethered. The tether seems to be picking the front of the tractor up a little bit. You can see it's kind of skating a little bit. Could maybe have done with a front weight. This tractor is it's fine as a loader tractor. I know it's supposed to be a small tractor and it's got way too much power in it now. Maybe that's kind of the effects that we're seeing, but I like it still. I like it. So we're going to lease a windrower. Just to get it. I'm going to keep it for doing the grass as well. I do think I'm going to get a loading wagon. Maybe we can lease one of those as well if we've got enough cash. And the nice thing would be if we don't need that silage, we can feed it into the BGA. Because we're not really making much use of that at the moment because the cows produce so little poo. Yeah. And tedding is all done. And we are on to the windrowing. And I decided that I would windrow and bale the headlands first, just to make it a little bit easier going round. Whole bunch of ways you can tackle this job. I would generally do something like this when I'm doing the work. So yeah, it's kind of cool. I'm just driving up here and seeing the sheep. I'm doing the testing on that PC that I mentioned on this map because I have played on console on this map. So it's it's quite interesting. So, but I'm running things like enhanced animal system, so we have goats on here. Yeah, I know. Yeah, can you tell it's been a long day? Well, has it been a long day? Not really. It was my first day back at work today after 2.5 weeks off. So yeah, feeding it a little bit, and so with Mrs. D being ill, she's getting better. She's getting better. Hopefully tomorrow she'll be up and about again. She's had the thing twice. You know, the thing that caused all the problems a few years ago. She's had it twice, and both times it's kind of knocked her out for about a week. And we're getting to that point now, and so hopefully she'll at least be up and out of bed. And yeah, but it's meant that I'm doing everything, and then going back to work is kind of tiring. And although partly with Joker and his dementia, I sleep downstairs quite a lot anyway, but at the moment sleeping downstairs all of the time, so not getting the best sleep. Experimenting with ideas for that, so broke camp bed out the last couple of days, which the dogs love because I'm at their height, so they can come up and see me when I'm asleep. Yeah, there's nothing like being woken up with a dog with his face in your face at 1 o'clock in the morning. Brilliant. It's brilliant. So we're gonna make these first few alfalfa hay bales and just going through trying to work out controls. So another thing, I plugged the wheel into the console briefly to give it a try, and no thumbsticks, so you can't do anything loadery with it. And I figured I'd just stick with the control pad for doing this. I'll save the wheel for PC stuff. It's because I can only use half of the stuff that I've got. It feels kind of half-arsed, and I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. I see no options for remapping controls on console controls are what the controls are. So, you know, I don't like it. Don't like it. So I plugged it in, had a quick play, gave up. Quite like having all of the stuffs. So my current setup with that is the wheel, the shifter, the joystick, the macro keyboard. So yeah, it's kind of fun. I've been looking at the joystick. I was doing some Googling. It's got a really high force spring in it for recentering it, and it makes it kind of overly aggressive for doing stuff. And I was reading instructions today about how to edit. It sounds wrong. How to adjust it, and not sure yet because it's basically a complete strip down of a brand new however many pound joystick to take the spring out and cut part of it off. So yeah, I'm not sure yet on that. But basically, yeah, the return spring force is very high, and I think it's probably higher than it would be. Don't know. Never used one in a real tractor, but it's pretty aggressive. And it can make fine control quite difficult. I've found so far that quite often I'm just kind of sitting my hand on the desk and using my thumb and finger to move the base of the joystick. That works quite well unless you need to touch a button, because the buttons I have mapped for doing stuff are on the top of the joystick. So yeah, oh, it's all part of a learning process with that setup. Yeah, had a bit of a second play with Assetto Corsa as well, and enjoyed it a lot more. So first time I played, I just jumped into a quick race in a pretty quick car, adjusted any of the settings, and it was hard work. I did some adjustment on some of the base settings for the wheel when Kartek and I were playing on Diddly Squat, and I took that information, applied it to sitting in a racing car, and started at the start of the career mode, and really enjoyed it actually. It gave me real Gran Turismo vibes. So yeah, looking forward to playing that a bit more, I think. So, right, headlands have been bailed while I've been waffling, so we got, I think, 3 bales off the headlands. And to be honest, there's not much more on the field because it was only in the first growth state. I don't remember if it was properly fertilized or not. So yeah, we got what we got. I'm only looking to feed some sheep. It's not like we need a lot, and if we run out, we'll go back to hay. Actually, looking at the way the feeding's set up, they might eat the hay first anyway before they get to the good stuff. So because I think alfalfa comes after hay in the list, even though it's a better quality food. I think that affects eat order, so yeah, I think they will eat the hay first, and then move on to the alfalfa hay. We'll see as we go through. And the sheep are producing wool anyway, they just won't be producing quite as much. So yeah, I was originally going to do 2 videos tonight, but no, my brain is pretty done. It's not even 7 o'clock. I could see me being asleep by 9 tonight. I think I was last night. It was one of those nights where I was falling asleep at the chair or in the chair, and the evening did not go as planned last night. It was very stormy here. We had, I think, up to 60 to 70 mile an hour winds, and I think at about 3:45, our neighbour knocked on the door to ask if I realised that a fence panel had gone down. I didn't, and it's a fence panel that's our responsibility. So where we are, you own as you look out of the back of the house, you own the fence on the left hand side, and the fence panel was pretty rotten, and basically the top and bottom had been broken off by the wind, and it kind of folded in. So yeah, spent an hour, I think, maybe not that long, fixing the fence panel and propping it back up. It was too windy to put it back up, but propped it back up so the dogs can't get through. And yeah, did that. Something else went wrong yesterday as well. Don't remember what. And yeah, I was just knackered after that. And then up early for work today. So although I was working at home, I got up early to get the dogs walked and stuff beforehand, which I haven't been doing quite so extremely while I've been off. I haven't needed to get up quite so early and actually get out of the door so quickly. So yeah, I'm just grabbing the weight so we can move some of the bales. And yeah, I think actually we're going to take them to feed them to the sheep. I think it's been like 3 days and I didn't make any notes for this one, just kind of got it done. Yeah, pretty sure we take these 2 bales to feed to the sheep. So but this one is stuck under the baler. They're a weird size as well, 6,600 litres for a 150 centimetre bale. Slightly weird. Yeah, so let me know. Why not have a bit of participation? Should I mow and bale or mow and forage wagon the silage? I've done a fair bit of baling lately and bale shifting lately, so it's been a while since I've done forage wagon silage, so kind of tempting to give that a go. But yeah, we'll take a couple of bales over to be fed, and then I think we only get one more. You know, but the yield was not great on here. Yield was not great. Oh look, you can see all the interactive zone markers from an infinite distance. Yay, giants. If you don't watch my other videos on PC, I have edited them so they don't appear so far away. You have to get quite close for them to pop up. Which is much better because they basically have infinite view distance on the map. Yeah. I don't know why giants did that. Don't know. Might. There's a one. I could tweak them in my own mods. Yeah, I could. I'd have to copy the stuff across. Because generally everyone references the standard set of markers. That might mean if people turn them off in the game settings, they don't go off, which might be a bit annoying, but something else to ponder. I have a joker laying next to me and he's currently kicking my chair in his sleep. He has very active dreams. I think that's much more than any other dog. I think that's a greyhound thing, and I think that comes from living in kennels for a huge part of their life. He actually has night terrors, so he will occasionally wake up and be barking quite loud and a little bit scarily. Yeah, poor boy's got lots of problems. But lovely dog. Very, when he's awake and not having nightmares, he's very gentle, tender dog. So yeah, just has some interesting features, shall we say. Not a bug, it's a feature. It's funnier if you understand IT geeky stuff. Yeah, so just going to get this lot baled up and get the bale put away. And then next time we will tackle the grass and yeah. I'm not sure what to do with this series, you know. Really not. it's yeah, I'm still enjoying playing it, but I don't know. We'll see. Not sure what kind of legs it's going to have. Yeah, I don't know. I've had a bit of a break of it over the holidays, so maybe I'll get back into it properly in the next week or so. So we'll see. We'll see. I did try the what's it called? What's it called? I can look on my screen. PS Remote Play, because I thought that might allow me to do some stuff on my laptop, but it was not a fun experience. It was not a fun experience. So no, that was a negative. And we are pretty much done, and we're not going to finish this bale off. So yeah, we got 4 bales off of this field, plus part of a baler full. I should probably have made smaller bales. Just picking up that little stray piece, because every litre counts. But yeah, they should have made 125 centimetre bales instead of 150 centimetre bales, and we probably would have got more out of the baler, because we would have probably finished an extra bale, I would guess, because we were just under 700 litres away, just over 600. Probably close to just over 600. So yeah, 4 bales off of that field, which is not amazing, is it? You know. But like I said, hopefully it will feed the sheep through the winter. We'll get it fertilised properly next time. Hopefully get a bit better yield off of it. So that's the plan. And yeah, I said with the wheel, it's enough of a brain mess up not having the keyboard handy, because when I have the wheel installed, I still have the keyboard in front of it. Sometimes I do reach over it, and so yeah, we're sticking with the controller for this one. Definitely. Yeah. Have got one of the Gran Turismo games on the PS4, so that might be fun to play with the wheel. I found with the Assetto Corsa, because I've never played it with anything but a wheel, it was much more natural. Yeah. Let's grab these 2 and we'll call it a day. So yeah, 26,400 litres. Yeah, pretty low yielding. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you have enjoyed the video. If you did, click the like button. Thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members. You guys are awesome. Any comments, questions or suggestions, stick them below, and I will see you next time.